impress, you really try to impress this person. I tried to impress this person, and it. I mean, I imagine it worked on a temporary standpoint, but long term, it wasn't going to be that impressive because I was doing something that I really didn't want to do. Now, I don't doubt that you can impress people, but you can impress people by just being who the person you decide to be.
Roll me, Mac.
When was a time where a woman intimidated you? How did you respond? Okay, so a time where a woman intimidated me was early 20s. Early 20s, and around that time you had been doing your little, like typical, still engaging like you're in high school as far as how you're carrying yourself with women. And so now I'm reaching a point where I'm talking to women a little bit older than me, and as we know from a scientific standpoint, that women do mature for the most part faster than males do, depending on where they come from and how they carry themselves. But I had met this woman, and I say woman, she was much older than me. I was 22. Yeah, I was 22. She was 27, and she had already owned her own home. She had already, she's well into her career, masters, all those things, you know what I'm saying? And had been around, I say been around like sex-wise, but just, had experience in dating. And here I come, I'm barely 21, you know what I'm saying? I'm a little bit, a year older than 21. And I'm talking to her. And what intimidated me more so was about the ability to keep up in conversation. I didn't have social skills required to have a conversation or even date a woman. Like, knowing what I know now, I don't believe a man is to engage with a woman until he learns a basic set of social skills. I'm not saying it'd be advanced, but enough to carry on a conversation. And if you don't know about a particular subject, knowing how to ask the questions so that you can. And I didn't have that. So the intimidation factor was really like, I didn't know what to say. I thought that if I said something, it would sound stupid. It was a lot of low self-esteem. It was just insecurities on top of insecurities. And little what I know, learn later on, that individual was just as insecure. But that would be further down the line. But with this scenario, I mean, it's just the intimidation factor because it felt like I was walking on eggshells. I felt like I had to get her validation. We can consider this a beta tale, and where I'm trying to get the validation of a woman. And I was willing to do whatever to get that, to appear older, to start learning politics, even though I didn't give a shit about politics. There were so many things that I was willing to do in order to receive the love that I believed that she had, and it was just like, why do I need to know this? Why do I need to know, why do I need to know what she knows? You know what I'm saying? Like, where's the individuality? And it was partially like me losing myself to try to get something that wasn't even meant for me to begin with. And but that intimidation factor, yeah, it was there, man. I was just trying to, it's like all the shit you see in the movies and the TV shows where the guy thinks that this girl's out of his league and he puts on a show. He puts on a very inauthentic mask in order to achieve something. And it's just the thrill of the chase. Honestly, I believe that's what it was. But and I didn't even ask myself, did I even like her? You know what I mean? As far as personality was, obviously I thought she was attractive, but I mean just mean from us talking and how things were, like, to almost talking to me as if you don't know that type of vibe. And I didn't for once, looking back then, I didn't for once think to myself, do I even like this motherfucker? So yeah, I kept trying to impress, you really try to impress this person. I tried to impress this person, and I imagine it worked on a temporary standpoint, but long term, it wasn't going to be that impressive because I was doing something that I really didn't want to do. Now, I don't doubt that you can impress people, but you can impress people by just being who the person you decide to be for that point in time. And I say, like, I'm gonna be who I am, because like I said, we change all the time. We change every day. We learn something new. I learn something new every day. So to say that I'm just being me is a fluid concept, and it's constantly evolving, constantly growing. But long term, I kept trying to be something that I wasn't, and I could feel it. You know what I'm saying? And it was fear of losing, her, abandonment, whatever you want to call it. I was locked in. I was locked into the whole thing for my ego. I wanted her for my ego so bad. And to the point that I was willing to lose myself and become something I didn't even know. Because I didn't know myself. I mean, what do you know about yourself at 22, 21? You know what I'm saying? Like, you think you got life all figured out. You don't know shit, in my opinion. But for myself, I won't speak on any other 22-year-old, 21-year-old, or whoever, what you were when you were 21 and 22. But looking back at my life, I did not know shit about life yet, as far as how to engage with women, social skills, and courting, leading, emotional intelligence. None of that shit I had when that was going down. But yeah, I remember feeling so intimidated. I remember that feeling. And I look at that shit and I'm, I have grace with them. But to me, it was pitiful. It's pitiful to see that. It's pitiful to allow myself to do that, to believe that this person was any more human than I was. We were just different. We were just into different things. And it's not that she was into better things. She was just into different things. And that's the difference. A lot of times when we talk to people, we can sometimes think that they're into something better. No, they're into something different. Might be better for them, but that's not necessarily means the same for you, because what I'm into might not be what you're into. But this is what I enjoy doing. And I can still learn how to love you without having to do the shit that you do. To be cool, validated, whatever the fuck it is that goes on in our mind when those things happen. I know for sure, just being young, man, just pedestal, putting women on a pedestal. And I was like, now I gotta figure this thing out. I'm trying to grow up in a matter of a day. And that's not how it works. I mean, looking back at it, it's just cute to see this kid attempt to get this girl by doing essentially childish things, by trying to be something that you're not, putting on this particular inauthentic mask, acting like you're into politics or whatever it is that C was very passionate about. And you don't have to do that. You don't have to pretend to like shit that somebody that you're interested in or you find to be attractive is interested in. It's all right to like the shit that you're into. Be separate people. We don't have to have the same interests. You know what I'm saying? It's a respect thing. At least for me. The music I listen to might not be for everybody. The movies I watch might not be for everybody. The fashion style that I do is not for everybody. But it is what I want to do, and it's what I choose to do. So it's just another thing of allowing a person to, whatever they're going to be, like, choose to be who they are at that particular time when you meet them. I don't believe you have to, I don't have to mirror what you do. I mean, it's a common thing when a person has strong attraction that they mirror you, especially like body language. Body language they'll mirror. Some people even mirror what, again, like some of the stuff that you're into, like if it's beneficial, it seems like something beneficial, they'll mirror that. But it's not a requirement. It's not a requirement because I like The Office that you have to like The Office. Or if I am into the old Ninja Turtle movies that you have to stomach yourself through that. That was a part of my childhood. I believe let's say if it came out today, I don't know if I would watch it, but because that was my time frame, So it's very nostalgic. It's definitely a reminder of a simpler time in life when I was a kid and things felt like a lot more free. A lot less stress. The time that I felt intimidated was, like I said, just being a young pup, and trying to lure, trying to get the affection of this young lady that was a couple years older than me, and being intimidated by the fact that I believe she knew more than I did. And that didn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. It just means that's something you could expound on and kind of learn from. But the way I was carrying myself back then, I was intimidated. The fact that this young lady appeared to be more mature. And I do mean appear to be more mature. But yeah, that was the time where I found myself intimidated by a woman. How do you deal with those who have opposing views on certain topics in life? Well, I do my best to keep in mind that there is no right and wrong except in trivia or like facts. So to have an opinion on something is merely that. It's just to have an opinion. So it's just, all right, cool. I can listen to what you have to say without having you to agree. You don't have to agree with me. We can have opposing views. We can look at things from different perspectives, and I might not agree with your perspective. You very well may not agree with mine, but it is your perspective. And that's okay. And that's okay to have that. The those times where you get in conversation, especially like when it comes to beliefs and people and even religion and stuff like that, that gets kind of touchy for some. A lot of people get attached, like I said, are very much attached to what it is that they believe in. And rightfully so. I mean, that's for them to do so. But to have an opinion, like for, let's say, a Buddhist sits down with a Christian or, whoever, different religion, and they listen to each other's story, and then it's like trying to prove that other person wrong as to where they're actually coming from. And not dismissing how a person feels about something, again, and within their belief too. But having opposing views, like again, you can look at people through like social media and Facebook, especially around like election time. You'll see those people that have those long, almost 3 to 5 paragraphs worth of why this candidate is not fit for office or whatever it is. And it's like, well, what's that really for? You know what I'm saying? But then there'll be a person at the bottom of that responding with their own 2 to 3 paragraphs, and it just turns into, I'm right, you're wrong, this is why you're wrong, and it just it's like a bad episode of First Take. And it doesn't have to, like, for me, it doesn't have to be that way. I don't care enough to even go that far to where you need to prove that you're right and I'm wrong. There's enough life to go around. I don't care enough. I don't care enough to get into a heated debate on whether or not I'm right and you're wrong. And I'll just leave it as such. It's just, to me, it's just wasted energy. But there's room for more than one perspective, and to have those perspectives, for us to look at them, be like, you know what, I can see where you're coming from. However, I still don't agree with what your statement is. I don't agree with your perspective, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be anything more than that. It doesn't have to turn into a point where we're tearing each other down, like you're fucking stupid because you think that, or okay, cool. If that's what you believe, by all means. You believe it. What does it really matter? How are we going? What we need to validate it for? Yeah. So when I do come across people and they have, especially like let's say in a work standpoint, and you might be the minority or something like that, and you hear them speak about something, probably an ill-educated statement about a minority. Well, is it really worth to defend that at the job? Is that really why you're there? Are you at work to defend whatever it is that, like you're a minority group or something like that? To me, what do I have to, I don't have anything to prove to you. I'm aware of what I am. I'm aware of what I'm not. So you can speak ill-educated about whoever, regardless if it's me, if it's anybody else. It's up to me to be offended by that, to choose to be offended. And I choose not to be. I choose not to be offended by what someone says without having all the facts. And that's their prerogative. If they want to do that, it doesn't reflect my ignorance, it reflects theirs. The fact that they will speak on that without having something factual, like again, just to make statements at the job that could be said probably better off outside of work than at work, but because the level of comfort that some tend to find, or just this level of entitlement and dominance that they feel, they will say whatever they want to say, about this particular topic. And you don't have to engage, man. You don't have to engage. There's a lot of disrespectful shit that is said, and it's not your position to magnify that. I mean, to manage that. That's what the manager can do. A manager is there to do that. I mean, if indeed there was something directly at me, I would say something in that in that regards. However, if indeed you just got somebody that's shooting the shit and they're a troll or whatever, they're just saying shit to get a rise out of people, just don't give them an audience. You don't have to give them an audience. You don't have to give them reply. You don't have to give them validation for what it is that they're saying, because they're not being serious. They're just trying to get a rise out of people. And a lot of people fight. A lot of people go for it. They take the bait, man. I personally, it's like, say whatever it is you want to say, man. You can speak on whatever it is that you wish to speak on. Just I don't have to be a part of it. I don't have to take take it to heart. I don't have to be offended by it. You need my permission to offend me, so I can just remove myself. If I'm not able to remove you, I can remove myself from the situation, and life will go on just fine. It's just healthy boundaries, just protecting your peace. I believe it's more important to have peace than to figure out why the fuck some shit happened. A lot of times we'll wreck our brain, like, why the fuck did that happen? Why did this person do this to me? Why did they say this thing and all this? You know what? Just give me peace, man. Just let me have my peace, and all will be well. But there's that ego in us, man. That ego in us sometimes just wants to fight unnecessary battles, unnecessary quarrels, unnecessary debates about shit that somebody that is hell-bent on not understanding you. So you're wasting time. And to me, it's a waste of time. And I value my time entirely too much to waste it on somebody who is hell-bent on not understanding what it is I'm attempting to share with them. They don't care about my perspective. And when I feel like someone does no longer value my voice, I remove myself. And I enjoy the peace that comes with that, But as far as people and their perspectives, yes, have your perspective. We can have opposing views. I don't need to agree with you. You don't, what I'm saying? I don't need to know exactly why you voted for this person. I don't have to know why you think that this should be legalized or this should not be legalized. Whatever it is that you feel, that's how you feel, man. I don't believe that I'm not a fan of shaming someone in regards to them sharing how they feel about something, like I said, from a political standpoint. That's all you, man. That's all you. Do what you do. If it's important to you, great. But what does it really all mean? And at the end of the day, what does it really all mean, man? Is it serious enough for you to unfriend somebody because of their political beliefs? Like a social media shit. Like, do you want to unfriend them because of political beliefs? or religious beliefs, whatever it is that they're, that they into. That's what they're into. You know what I'm saying? Like they can live their life how they choose to live their life, man. As long as they don't project it onto you, and they maintain that level of, let's say, respect that they've shown to you in previous times. Allow them to have their views, whatever it is. If they want to share them, great. If not, fine. And it's just, to me, it's not that important. It's not that important for me to have to validate you, or you have to validate me. We can just have our perspectives, and that's it. That's the validation, is just allowing a person to have their perspective on something. And then, yeah, if you wish to share yours, that to me is about as much validation as we're required. Just be like, okay, I value what you have to say, and you value what I have to say. Even if we do not agree, we can agree to disagree and still move forward. And I think that's okay. Going through life looking for yes men and yes women is a recipe for disaster. There's too many people in the world to believe that everyone is going to think like us or do things like us, whatever it is. Now, you have a choice whether you want to be around certain of those billions of people that we come across in life. You have a choice of what you want to be around. But as far as having opposing views, I'm a firm believer in allowing a person to have their perspective, and I have mine. And if we agree, great. And if we disagree, that's fine too. What's something materialistic that you no longer have in your life that you miss? My torn up, it wasn't torn up, it was just stained. My heavily stained wrestling buddy, Ultimate Warrior. So me and that my grandma Sarah bought me that for Christmas of '91. We were just about to leave Cuba, because I think we left in January of '92. But Christmas of '91, I got that Ultimate Warrior. She shipped it to Cuba all the way, wherever it came, Salisbury, I want to say. But I had that thing inseparable, slept with it, probably up until I was, I don't know, let's call it 30, 32, something like that. And of course, when you're dating a young lady, she don't want to be in the bed with no fucking wrestling buddy thing. But even still, that was just a part of the childhood that I was just still attached and kind of holding on to. So I allowed her to convince me to throw it away just from holding on to that, instead of just keeping it, probably not out in the open in the house, but just having it thrown away altogether. But there were a lot of memories tied to that. I mean, me and Ultimate Warrior had been through a lot, together, with that pillow. That is, I used to, like I said, I used to fall asleep on that thing all the time. But if there was something that materialistic that I miss, I do not have anymore, it is my Ultimate Warrior wrestling buddy. What childish behavior do you consciously or unconsciously do? My childish behavior, in my head, there is a lot of sarcasm. There's a lot of sarcasm, which is pretty much a mismanagement of anger, mismanagement of emotion. It's passive aggressive, many things. And I do my best to not let that shit come out. So I will shut the fuck up. I will silence myself until the silence is the best anger. It's the best answer to anger. I thank the Buddhists for that, teaching that whole method of dealing with anger is silence. But when you're used to not being heard, and you got wit, you'll say some shit that's like targeting a particular person or something, but it doesn't get it fixed. It's a temporary relief. It feels good for like a couple seconds, but it doesn't. It's not the cure. It's not the cure for the scenario. You still got issues with the person because you don't feel seen, heard, and loved by them. And so I know for sure the childish behaviors that I certainly did at one point in time is like a sense of sarcasm, very much tactful in something that was said. Like, it's not addressing the issue. It's literally just saying some slick shit, like almost like what a kid would do to a mom or dad that wouldn't allow them to go outside or go to the birthday party, saying something kind of slick to get under their skin, and childish, and it roots back to that too. Let's call it what it is, man. It's just like your inability to know how to generate your emotions. You weren't allowed to share certain emotions, so it comes out in different form. Sarcasm, saying some slick shit, childish behavior, and traffic. Motherfucker cut me off. All right, I'm not letting you pass, or something like that, right? I can look back at that. Now I try to manage the fucks I give. I thank Rich Cooper for that quote, you know what I mean, of just managing the fucks you give daily. But I know a time where, and especially in Miami, road rage captain, where if you cut me off, I might even chase your car for a couple minutes just for the thrill of it, but childish. Like, what is it really proving? What's it really going to do? You really want to get into an accident with somebody that you are mildly pissed off at for a couple minutes and then end up paying whatever money and accident fees? It's just not knowing how to deal with your emotions, man. I know that anger is, I say all the time, anger is something that I'm still learning how to manage in a healthy form. But I look at that as being very childish too, is just the road rage, losing your cool in general. And I'll tell you, man, the cut me off or ride slow in the fast lane or whatever it is, childish. I look at it as childish to where I have to when somebody does ride slow in front of you or do some weird shit, and then you you pull up beside just to see who the fuck it is. Like, it's gonna make a fucking difference. It don't make a fucking difference, but there's that part of me, like, I gotta know who this dumb motherfucker is. It's just, that's the notion that goes through our heads, my head at least, at that time. And it's like you want to inflict that pain that you believe that person is inflicting onto you, but it's not gonna do you any better. It's not gonna do you any better in the long scheme of things. Best to just, oh man, find the peace, bro. Keep the peace and remove yourself. Remove yourself from the situation, man. Don't allow somebody to project pain onto you. Just kind of remove yourself from it. Like, nah, I don't even want this shit, man. I don't even want to get into this tit for tat game with you. That's another childish thing, is where we go tit for tat. And if they say, like, in a debate, we want to one up somebody, and childish, consciously, unconsciously, you can call it whatever it is, man. I look at, when I allowed myself to get like that was very childish, to you just kept trying to one up on somebody, just trying to say, well, almost like that Chris Tucker, Jackie Chan thing. Well, my daddy did this, and your daddy, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like the one up, constantly like the one up stuff. It's unnecessary. Let everybody speak, let everybody talk, and share what they, as far as share what they got on their mind. That doesn't necessarily you don't have to one up on them. And you gotta catch, and I'll still find myself catching myself, to not want to do that. Somebody shares something, and that's their space, that's their time to share something. You don't have to make it about you. I would say that's a childish thing, of making something, being in conversation, and then finding ways unconsciously to make it about you. and be like, I don't know, talking about some really good lemonade. Well, you know what? I'd make some really good lemonade, instead of inquiring more about what that person, why that person's into the lemonade. And it's them sharing what they, their thoughts on the lemonade, not so much for, to turn it around and make it about you. And, wounded inner child, a bruised ego, just not feeling seen. So let me make it about me. I look at, childish behavior of, I said, just sarcasm. Yeah, sarcasm. The cutting people off, purposely, like seeking revenge on a car situation or what have you. It's like, what is it really proving, man? What is it? It don't really prove anything. It's just, I don't know. It's just something to be very mindful of, managing the fucks you give. And not everything has earned the right to access to you. And I know I've given access. I've given access to shit that did not have it. That did not earn it. They did not earn my attention. I gave attention to a lot of shit that did not earn my attention, man. And that's where your power lies. Your power lies there, and we give away so much of our attention and so much of our power to shit that does not even warrant a response. And the traffic stuff, being in traffic and somebody doing some dumb shit and some people wanting to respond to it, or you seeing people like earthly petty shit, like you want to respond. Let's say you're at Walmart and you see somebody walking across the street slowly on purpose, knowing that you're trying to turn. You know what I'm saying? Just like wanting a response, and it reflects their ignorance, it reflects their immaturity. And some of us take the bait. Some of us take the bait sometimes, depending on where we are that day. The cliche statement, I got time today. I got time today to kind of do that. And is it worth it? It's just not, man. It's just, peace will not be compromised. Not anymore. Not for me. My peace won't be compromised, man. And so I had to catch myself. I literally have to silence myself from doing old habits that aren't necessarily the most mature, and having like a set of an eye of vengeance. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I believe that you wronged me, I will plot and scheme until I find a way to get back at your ass. And that's, to me, is childish. That's a childish behavior because it's revenge. I mean, a free mind doesn't seek revenge, and it doesn't seek validation. It finds peace. And it's a challenge. I'm not gonna lie. It's a motherfucking challenge every day. Every day there's someone's going to challenge you in some way, and you're gonna have to ask yourself, does it garner a response from you? And if it doesn't garner a response to you, then ignore, the wise ignore. And but how much do we give our attention to that does not require it? There's just a lot of people seeking validation. A lot of people are looking at getting a response out of you, even if it's in the most immature way. And you don't have to take part. You don't have to take part in that. You can literally ignore, move on, not respond, not entertain it. Don't even give it life in your mind, and just press on. But yeah, I look at that as like childish behavior that I would do, or have done, possibly doing, to use sarcasm constantly in conversation instead of having a direct conversation, just saying slick shit to a person. To me, that's me being very much immature, and I have to catch it because it's old habits die hard, and not used to being heard, not used to direct communication. It takes time to kind of reassess how to engage in a healthy way, to not say anything that is indirect. You want direct communication. Don't say like shooting, speaking, talking in text, and yeah, you got some issue going on with this person, but you also don't believe you're going to be hurt. So, but you know what? I'm gonna send a bomb anyway. Let me go ahead and send some slick shit. And what are we doing here? I don't think that's the objective. Now we're just gonna have a match. We're just gonna go back and forth. This is gonna be a tennis match, back and forth, and we're not even gonna get the situation handled. But I think that's just childhood. I think it's all rooted in the stuff that we were taught coming up, like that was okay. Which really a lot of it wasn't. And being very mindful of our own toxic ways and how to kind of learn from them, recognize them, number one, and then just how we can kind of learn from them. But yeah, I think that's about it as far as my childish ways that I can think of. But another episode in the books, man. Another episode in the books. Thank you guys for watching all the way to the end. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share on your timelines and all that stuff. Share with your friends at work, share with your family, just to get the conversation going. That's really what it's all about. It's just getting the conversation going for us to reveal, to heal, and be better moving forward. But I'm Roman Mac, and I'm out. Good night, kids. How was the Michael movie for you? Well, it wasn't a bad movie. I just didn't like it. That's the honest truth. The honest truth is that there was so much left out. Now, granted, if you didn't follow, the Jackson family has been around since the 60s, so there's a lot of history. There are a lot of key points, key events, things that have happened in Michael Jackson's life. So to try to cram that into 2 hours and 7 minutes is a feat in itself. But I didn't care for the fact that there were placeholders. Spoiler alert, whatever you want to call it, if you plan on going to see it. I don't want to tell the whole, it's not like anything that happens in the movie you don't know about because it's something that it's factual, it's a biopic. But I just believe that the focus was on Michael, so Jafar, his character, his nephew, Jafar, and then the father, Joe. It was about Joe, and everybody else just had mild moments. You know what I'm saying? Like that to me was what it felt like. It didn't feel like complete. It didn't feel like I got input from here and there. It just felt like Michael's saying shit, Joe's saying shit, everybody else got one or two lines. And I like it. I did not like that movie. It had so much potential. Like for me, if you looked at the trailer months ago, you saw Quincy Jones, you saw a lot of these people. When I tell you Quincy got like 3 lines in that movie, 3, if that. Lorenz Tate as Barry Gordy, 2 to 3 lines, if that. And again, no expectations, no entitlement, no ego is the mindset that I try to remind myself from time to time. But let me tell you, there was so much that could have been focused on in that movie. I get it. They wanted to focus on Michael and Joe's relationship. Well, there's a lot more. This is Michael's first motion picture film. There hasn't ever been a movie about Michael released. They could have put this on damn Lifetime. That's what I equate it to. This is a Lifetime movie. Put to theaters. We all know how Lifetime does about, the only movies they do well is about kids being abducted from hospitals and poor love stories about, the Craigslist killer and shit. That's where Lifetime shines. They don't shine well in biopics. Like the Aaliyah story and, the Aaliyah story, the Bobby Whitney, hell, the Saved by the Bell story, they do not do well with biopics. And it just felt, to me, it felt like Lifetime. It felt like a Lifetime movie put to the big screen. And what I believe would have been more suitable and fitting for Michael, because there's so much he's accomplished in his career, in his life, being a singer since the age of fucking 6, all the way until, you know, he passed at 49 or 50, whatever he passed at, you know, I think it was 50, but 51, excuse me. Yeah, he passed at 50. He's going to be 51 that year. But I'd have preferred a Netflix series. This hard, because if you're gonna, so how do you have and how is there a damn sequel in mind to a biopic? How? It sounds like a money grab to me. It seems like a money grab, and I don't really respect that shit. I don't know who was behind this whole ordeal, but the perfectionist that is Michael Jackson, I don't believe he would have wanted that movie released. I don't think he would have an issue with doing a movie about himself. I just believe that he would not have put that out. Spoiler alert, there's no Janet. How do you do the story of Michael Jackson without Janet Jackson, Reby, Randy, and like I said, the brothers, all Tito, Marlon, Jackie, Jermaine, they were all placeholders. They didn't really have lines. From the kids to the grown, you know, when they were kids and then when they were grown, they didn't really have many lines. It was the majority of the time, the focus was on Michael and Joseph Jackson. Now, my man that played Joe, Oscar, off of looks alone, you got it, bro. He looked like that motherfucker to a T. You know, he got the Joe Jackson look down. But the music I enjoyed. The music performances is fine, you know, it's pretty cool. I thought it was cool, you know, the whole Beat It setup of what, you know, of how that goes down. I won't reveal that, because I think that's something that might be something to look forward to in the movie. But the Beat It scene, behind the scenes stuff was pretty cool. The overall, just the movie itself, man, I gave it a 7 out of 10. You know, I write down all the movies I go see, and then I give ratings to them. But I give this a 7 out of 10. You know, the effort put into it's great. It just wasn't long enough. That's what she said. Yeah, but the movie itself, it just was not. It wasn't long enough to tell Michael's story. And if it was going to be said that there was going to be done in 2 different movies, like some Endgame or Avengers shit, that's one thing. But as far as we know, that this was just going to be, that was it. But I just believe that there was more that could have been done. There was a lot of things left out. Literally, it was a lot. I believe there's a lot of story left out when it comes to Michael Joseph Jackson. And this is just coming from, at one time, a very much an obsessed fan of Michael. So I'm biased, a little bit biased. I can be honest with myself about that. But if you didn't know like the ins and outs of the Michael Jackson's life, the way I would say myself and others who were very much fanatics, you would probably think it's a dope movie. You would. I mean, I've heard, I was talking with, with some friends and just getting the polar opposite opinions about it. And one's like, yeah, it's a great movie. I said, well, we'll talk when I see you next time. I don't want to. Like I said, I don't want to be the one to. I don't want my opinion of it to down yours. It's just where my perspective comes from on it. I was not a fan of how the movie was executed. It's not a bad movie. I just wasn't a fan of how it was executed, if that makes sense. I know there's too much information that's out there that we've seen in other TV series that was left out. And there was so much more that could have been done. It just seemed like it was rushed. It felt like very much a rushed project for Michael Jackson, and Michael does not rush. Michael is a perfectionist. Michael was a perfectionist, and anyone who has followed Michael knows this. That's just how he was. It had to be precise when something was done, and just so much promotion that was done for the movie. It had the potential of being something, monumental or whatever, but there was a lot left out, man. There's a lot left out. I don't believe the lines were spaced evenly. I give it to Miles Teller's character, John Bronco, Michael Jackson, Joseph Jackson, and a little bit of Katherine Jackson, played by Nia Long. Everything else is placeholders. One or two lines here and there. But we were presented as if there was going to be more in that. That's just my thing, That's my thought on the movie. Yeah, I mean, that's my take on what I thought how the movie was. Again, it's not a bad movie. If this makes sense to you, it's not a bad movie. I just did not like it.